Hi everyone, Ms. Tech here. I've had a couple of people ask me about this, so I figured I might as well do an addendum video to my Wanderer's Palace guide, in which I show the pulls for a speedrun. Now, before I get into detail about class requirements and silly things like that, this first pull can actually be avoided entirely by sleeping the NPCs before they kill the Tonberry. That way, if you move fast enough to the top of the first stairs, you'll avoid these two spawning Tonberries completely. Now, these runs can get anywhere below 10 minutes if you're really awesome and really squeeze out each mechanic of the perfect group combo. But I'm not really a fan of limiting people, especially when I'm doing a guide. So everything I'm showing you in this video can be done with most class combinations, and while it may be easier for certain groups, I've yet to come across a group with a non-traditional comp that wasn't able to complete this under 15 minutes. For anyone that's never done a speedrun, it pretty much involves running from section to section and AoEing the trash mobs as fast as possible. Since the tank is basically flash pulling each mob, it's important not to DPS or heal until your tank is in position. Healers should stone skin the tank before each major pull to reduce the amount of incoming damage, and tanks need to use cooldowns as necessary. For this second pull, the only mob that has to be killed is the Tonberry in front of the door, which we mark number 1. We have the group focused on this Tonberry, and once it dies, the door opens, allowing the rest of the trash to be ignored. While some groups will kill this pack, it's super useful to have a mage sleep the rest of the trash while the group runs to the boss and pulls the boss, triggering the door timer. Using this strat, you'll have one extra Tonberry following you, which cannot be slept, but it is susceptible to binds. Tanks should stay by the edge of the room while the DPS brings the boss to them so that we can make sure the Tonberry gets locked out. Otherwise, if the Tonberry does happen to step in, remember it can be knocked back outside the perimeter, or the tank can run out and back in if there's enough time. Once the room is closed off, all previously aggroed mobs will reset and tether back to their original locations, leaving you free to focus on the boss. Now, since we have some time here, I can talk a little bit about my group comp. We are running the traditional speedrun group that everyone always spams shout chat for. The Paladin has an arsenal of cooldowns, the Black Mage Bard combo is probably the strongest AoE, and the White Mage not only has a strong healing throughput but can also spam Holy, stunning and DPSing the trash. Obviously, this is a really strong group for what we're trying to do, but if you don't have this perfect little cookie cutter comp, don't despair. Throughout the rest of the instance, we need to kill the Tonberries to get the oil that opens the Nemean generators, all while avoiding the big scary Tonberries. Since Provoke has an awesome range on it, be sure to grab the door Tonberries in this pack. Hiding in the corner here not only LOSs the ghost things, resulting in a nice clump for you to AoE, but it also hides the entire group from the big Tonberry that passed through the center of the room here. In this section, we have one group member access the generator while the tank grabs the skeleton and his friend. These two can be bound while you sprint back to the second boss. Follow the same idea with locking the mobs out of the room and destroy the pudding. By the time you reach the last trash pull, you will probably have Limit Break up. Might as well use it for that Wombo combo DPS. Tanks should LOS around this corner to pull all the ranged mobs together, while that AoE Limit Break nukes them. Finally, onwards to the last boss. Like I said earlier, I've done this with multiple different group comps, as both a warrior and a paladin, even as a scholar with tanks and AK gear. The speed at which you go through the instance should be determined by the strength of the group's AoE and just how comfortable the tank and the healer are with each other. If you're having trouble with a few pulls, you can always pull one less mob pack or use a different combination of cooldowns. For silly stuff like this, it's always about experimenting and trying new things. If you have any questions about this guide or comments on how I can improve to make it even faster, let me know. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.